Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you the last chance products from the 2023 annual catalog. To get started, you'll need the printed lists, a highlighter, a pen if you want to mark the discounts, and a ruler, which will make looking at the list a little easier. So let's get started. I'm going to start on page 15 with the Bright and Beautiful suite. This suite is retiring along with the bundle and the stamp set and the designer series paper. Let's turn to page 16, and both the bundle and the stamp set are retiring along with page 17, the stamp set and the bundle. On page 18, the Charming Sentiments and the Gorgeous Garden dies are retiring, along with the two items on page 19. Flip to page 20, and we have the Sweetest Cherries bundle disappearing. Flip to page 20, we have the Sweetest Cherries retiring, along with the bundle and stamp set on page 21. On page 22, the Dainty Delights is going to retire, and it's discounted. On page 23, the Handmade Hugs is retiring. And on page 24, both stamp sets are retiring along with the stamp set on page 25. Now you'll want to check the online store to see what is currently available and what has sold out. On page 26, we have the Sending Smiles retiring and the Pansy Patch retiring. On page 28, the stamp set is retiring, and on page 29, the stamp set and dies are retiring. And of course, while the discounts will not go live until April 9th, items may sell out before then. On page 30, the Sweet Collection is retiring along with the bundle and the stamp set. On page 32 and 33, both stamp sets are retiring. And on page 34, the Two-Tone Floral is retiring. Page 37, the Petal Park is retiring and is discounted. On page 38, both stamp sets are retiring along with the stamp set Cottage Wreath on page 39 and the In Color treat bags. Of course, the In Color treat bags are our 2022-24 In Colors, so all of those products will retire. On page 40 and 41, we have the Seasons of Chic retiring along with the bundle Wonderful Thoughts. On page 42, both stamp sets, and page 43, the Perched in a Tree is also retiring. On page 44, the Ringed with Nature is retiring along with Celebration with Tag. The THRU Sweet Collection is going to be retiring, which means the stamp set and bundle is retiring also, along with the designer series paper and the ribbon. The Bird's Eye View will show up in our new 2024 online kit. The Bird's Eye Review will show up in our new 2024 annual catalog. On page 49, the Hey Chick bundle and stamp set are retiring. On page 50, the Easter Bunny stamp set, Happy Labels, and Silly Goose stamp sets are retiring. On page 52, we have the Little Monkey stamp set and bundle that would retire, along with one of my favorites, Biggest Wish. On page 54 and 55, all three stamp sets are going away. On page 56 and 57, we have two more stamp sets retiring along with the bundle. On page 58, we've got these cute little animals, and all three stamp sets, along with their punches, are going to be retiring. On page 60, the Everyday Thanks, and By My Side on page 61. On page 62, the Countryside Inn Sweet Collection is retiring, along with the Blossoms Embossing folder, the bundle, and the stamp set. Page 64, the Lasting Joy stamp set is retiring. And on page 65, the bundle is retiring. The stamp set itself will be carrying over. On page 66 and 67, all 3 items are retiring. On page 68 and 69, once again, all 3 items are retiring. On page 70, the Suite collection is retiring, and that includes the trim and the designer series paper, the stamp set, and the bundle. On page 72, we have Hope and Prayer, and on page 73, Places in the Heart. On page 74, the bundle and the stamp set will retire, along with page 75, Country Bouquet. It's also discounted, and once again, you'll see those current discounts in the online store. Everlasting Beauty on page 76 is retiring. And on page 78, the Let's Go Fishing Suite collection is retiring, and that includes the Twisted Rope embossing folder and the designer series paper, along with the bundle. The stamp set and dies will still be available, but they won't be discounted 10%. On page 80, you have 2 stamp sets here on the list, and on page 81, My Fun Construction Zone. This is also one of my favorite, and I've shared tutorials with you on my blog. On page 82, The Next Destination, Sweet and Precious, and He's All That will be retiring. And on page 84, Just the Ocean Front. Page 85, The Wild and Sweet. On page 86, we have the Stars Gazing Suite collection, and it'll be retiring, along with all the products within the suite. On page 88, the On the Ocean. On page 90, we have the bundle and the wheels and the crafting bundle. Once again, the stamp set will be available along with the dies, but you'll lose the 10% discount. On page 92, both the Enjoy the Rhythm and the Brewed for You stamp set, along with Level Complete. The Inked Botanical Suite on page 94 is retiring, along with the paper, the ribbon, and of course the bundle and punches. On page 96, we have In the Moment, and on page 97, one of my favorites. This is a great sentiment set for using with all kinds of projects because it contains the sentiments that we use the most. The go-to greetings will be saying goodbye. On page 98, the Bottled in Happiness, the Iridescent Circles. I'm catching these now because they are in the index area separated also, and the Shaker Domes. The Bold Bouquet bundle and stamp set will be retiring, along with everything on page 100 and 101. On page 102, we have the Masterfully Made Suite collection that's retiring. The designer series paper is going to retire, along with the stamp set and bundle. The little embellishment will be carrying over. On page 104, both stamp sets are retiring. Page 106 and 107, all the stamp sets will be retiring, and they have discounts. On page 108, the Love for You and the Enchanted Butterfly will retire. Page 110, we have another suite, and the Fresh as a Daisy suite will be retiring, along with the bundle, the designer series paper, and the embellishments. The stamp set will be carrying over. On page 112, the bundle will be retiring, and on page 113, the Waves of Inspiration. On page 114 and 115, all 3 stamp sets will retire. On page 116, both the stamp sets are retiring. For our background stamps, on page 118, we have the Berry Harvest, It's in the Stars, Rays of Light, Spiral Die, Timeless Tiles, and on the next page we have Snow Crystals and Perfectly Detailed. Moving on to our accessories and our colors, of course the 2022-24 in colors are leaving, and the stamping blends are discounted, so you'll want to make sure that you stock up on your in colors. On page 124, we have 125, we have the new core colors that are all retiring, along with the 2024 in colors. On page 126, several of our packaging supplies are going away: the cello bags, the in-color bags, the treat boxes, and the vellum card stock. On page 127, we have specialty items that are leaving. The only item that is staying is the gold foil sheets here, number 3. All the other items will be retiring. On page 129, we start with our designer series paper. Now, I've done my best to transfer from the front of the book with the suites to back here, but you'll want to make sure by checking these online if there's one that you're looking for. The Delightfully Eclectic is going to be retiring and discounted 50%. We have the Earth and Elegance, the Fresh as a Daisy, and the Glorious Gingham that's retiring, along with all 3 papers on page 131. On page 132, all 3 papers are retiring, along with everything on page 133. We're going to be getting some fun new designer series paper patterns for our color families, but note that there's some great discounts on these products. On page 135 are our Memories and More in envelopes. We've got the Bright and Beautiful card pack and envelopes that are retiring, along with our 3x3 envelopes, the craft note cards, the Very Vanilla envelopes, and the Very Vanilla note cards. On page 136, both of the decorative masks are going away. Our Stamp and Emboss powders are being reconfigured, so they'll be back, but with different item numbers, so these are retiring. The Heat and Stick powder is discounted and will be gone when this catalog retires, along with page 139 in our embellishments. All 4 of these are going away. On page 140, we have the iridescent pastel gems, the adhesive backed solid gems, and the festive pearls. So these 3 items, along with the pearls and the iridescent rhinestones. On page 141, you have the rustic metallic adhesive backed dots, the classic matte dots, the brushed metallics, and these are so great for masculine cards, along with the in-color dots and the opaque ovals, the pastel sequins, the gold leafing, and our shaker domes. On page 143, we're losing a lot of these ribbons, so they'll be on the retirement list, but they are discounted, so you can get some great deals. All of these on this page will be saying goodbye when supplies run out or at the end of the catalog. On page 144, the Lost Lagoon, the Dual Ribbon, all of our in colors for 2022, the Golden Vanilla Ribbon, the Silver Threaded Twine, the Natural Wavy Trim, the Simply Elegant Twine, and the Baker's Twine in our in colors will be saying goodbye. On to punches. On page 147, the Circle Bundle is going away. Both the punch and the bundle is going away for the Inked and Tiled, and of course the Little Monkey Builder punch and bundle. One of my favorites, the Banner Pick a Punch, is also retiring. On page 144, we'll be keeping the Elegant Edge Tag Topper, the Bow, and the rest are retiring. On page 149, we're keeping the Petal Park Builder. All the other punches will be retiring. On 151, we have our stamping tools, and we've got the Clear Block Bundle that is retiring. The Block A, G, and I are going to be gone, along with the Storage Caddy. We've got our dies that are parts of bundles, and as you can see, I didn't mark the bundle here because it's earlier in the catalog on page 112, so I'll do that now. So we have the bundle for the Beauty of the Deep that is going away, along with all the other items on the page. The only one that's carrying over is the Beauty of the Deep. On page 156, we have the Darling Details and the bundle that is retiring, along with the Earth and Textures, dies and bundle, the Fun on Wheels dies and bundle, and the Gorgeously Made dies and bundles. And you'll notice there are discounts on some of these. So make sure when you're shopping you look at both the bundle and the separate components. On page 158 we have the Hey Chuck dies and bundle, the Lazy Days dies and bundle, the Let's Go Shopping dies and bundle, and the Little Dreamers. And don't forget, some of these items cut out the designer series paper, so you'll want to stock up on those too. On page 159, the only item that's remaining behind is the textured floral. And I can flip to page 65 because I probably didn't catch the bundle. There we go. The bundle's been retired, so I can mark that here. So you'll get to the opportunity to purchase these in the future, but you will not save the 10%. On page 160, we have the 3 different die sets and bundles that are retiring. On page 162 are our individual dies and no bundles. All That, Artistic, Basic Borders, and this is a favorite of mine, Brilliant Background, Brood, and Aspen Trees are retiring. And on page 163, the only one that will be carrying over, Deckled Rectangles. On 164, we have the Give It a Whirl, Gorgeous Garden, Labels Aglow, Lighting the Way, Love You Much, and Meadow that are retiring, along with the Natural Prints, On the Ocean, Paper Florist, Petal Patterns, Pansy, and Patchwork pieces. On page 166, the Reindeer, Seaside Bay, Sentiment, Silhouettes, Share a Milkshake, Scallop Contours, and Sending that will be retiring. If you don't already have this die set here, Scallop Contours, it's got fantastic dies for basic shape cutting. The Stitched with Whimsy is the same, but it's going to be saying goodbye. The Sweet Citrus Hybrid and the Tree Rings Hybrid are also going to be retiring, along with the Tailor Made, the Two-Tone Floral, and the Waves dies. Our embossing folders will be losing a few of these, the Cascading Ruffles, the Countryside Blossoms, the Elegant Eucalyptus, the Geometric Patterns, the Merry Melodies, the Painted Posies, Quadrifoil, Raindrops, Stripes and Splatters, Time Worn Type, and Twisted Ropes. Some of these are workhorses that I use over and over again. And that's it for our annual catalog and the last chance list. I hope you've enjoyed walking through the catalog with me, and I hope I've done a good job catching everything that's retiring. Of course, you can see this in my online store and know for sure, along with the discounts, with just a glance. Simply click on the last chance list category in my online store. And of course, if you'd have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help. Thanks for joining me.